I'm Sam. Welcome to Light Eye, where we empower light ideas. Right now, we're working on a documentary that features 20 lighting designers, who they are and what they're passionate about. And one question we've asked all of them is, what's the one thing you think people don't know about lighting design? Here's a sneak peek at what a couple of them had to say.
I think what people don't know about lighting design is possibly how much goes into it. In some ways, I think lighting is the unsung hero in what we do.
It affects every part of their world on a daily basis.
I think people don't understand how much fun it really is.
If I tell somebody I'm a lighting designer, I feel like there are usually about 3 responses that I get. One is, oh, that's so cool, lighting's so important. Another is, well, what is that? And the third is kind of just silence, and we'll move on to the next topic because I don't have a response to that.
They don't realize that it's an intersection of art and science, which is unfortunate because I think it would appeal to a lot more students, the ones that love art, if they understood just how much art comes into play.
What's happened is everybody's an expert. Every contractor is an expert. Every lighting manufacturer will provide lighting design service to some degree. How could they not? There's nobody here trying to do a bad job, but nobody's looking at the lighting to make a warm and inviting hotel space.
I think there's a thought that in many architects' minds that lighting design is about sort of picking equipment, picking light fixtures. And at that moment when we see those plans sitting on the table, we say, hey, do you possibly have a rendering we could look at? Is there a discussion we could have about who's using this space? Or what's the big picture about how people should feel when they go into this space?
What we're really about is crafting exquisite luminous environments and balancing contrast ratios and understanding human perception and how we experience the world through light.
We'd like to sort of blow the top off of that idea that lighting design is about picking equipment. We see equipment as tools in our tool bag that we're grabbing for and reaching for to be able to go sort of way beyond that.
How ultimately design, you are selling your designs. Like people go into design thinking I'm not a salesman, right? But you're not only creating that design, but you're selling it. You have to convince and ultimately listen to the people you're working with and for. And that even includes the contractor. We learn from the contractor.
What people don't understand about lighting design coming out of school specifically is how much more to the profession there is than just thinking about what light goes where.
The reflected ceiling plan is the least amount of things we do. It's not putting lights evenly throughout a space. It is painting with light.
That many of my clients don't necessarily see how light is applied.
They don't understand that lighting has to do with 3D world, 3D atmospheres. A lot of times we'll get RCPs, but we won't get plans, we won't get elevations, and we really need to be able to design lighting understanding the space in 3D.
I think people are starting to realize how deeply light affects us, not just in being able to see our world around us and interpret things, through our brain images, but all the way down to the microbiological level.
Lighting design is invigorating.
Like, that's incredible that our bodies are literally stimulated by light. I already knew that. We already both knew that. But the fact that now we can prove it with science is pretty amazing.
They just don't know. They don't know what hurts them or makes them feel better. And light is a component in the built environment that drastically affects how they feel, how well they perform at their job, how well they perform at the tasks at hand.
How difficult it is to achieve it. I mean, we spend like 10%, maybe 15% of our time designing it, like coming up with the idea. To implement it, execute it, is the other 85-90%. We spend a lot of time, doing details, layouts, control schedules, control single lines, and then reviewing all the shop drawings to make sure that it gets executed correctly.